To A-League action tonight against the Sky Blues. It's a fixture dominated by Sydney FC down the years. They've won 15 of the last 20. 28 wins to 8 overall. Newcastle have won 2 of the last 6. Robbie Slater is alongside for the call. And Sydney FC on the quick backup after that Friday night success.
Yeah, what a tough game that was against Wellington. A super game where Wellington was certainly in it. There was a bit of, well, not a little bit, quite a bit of controversy, but that's behind them now. They got the win. Buhaja starring off the bench. In fact, there was a story of the benches that game, but Sydney come into this, as you said, just needing the point. And the Jets are re-emerging from the COVID-19 lockdown, we can put it like that, and this will be their first game. They've only got 4 games, and you would think if they're going to make the 6, they need to win quite possibly all 4.
Have been in form since Carl Robinson took over. Just 1 defeat in their past 7 games. Taken 14 points out of the last 21 points available. But they do make a shock team selection today. There's no Dimi Petratos for the first time in 31 games. But Bernie Abini makes his first start for the club up front, alongside Roy O'Donovan, who makes his 100th appearance in the A-League tonight. The Irishman who scored 48 goals in those previous 99 games. Near enough to a goal every other game. And here come the Sky Blues, led out by Alex Wilkinson. Such a winner. So much success everywhere he's been throughout his career. Sky Blues, they make a couple of changes following Friday night's victory. Milos Ninkovic and Joel King dropped to the bench, allowing Michael Zullo to make his first start since round 8. That was December 1 in the win over Western United. So 7.5 months since we've seen him in the starting 11. And Alex Baumjohann, who came off the bench and made a difference the other night, has completely recovered from his groin issue and is right to start again. The German maestro pulling the strings in midfield. Trent Buhaja cast in the role of super sub again after those 2 goals with just 7 touches all told on Friday nights. Andrew Redmayne, another poised to play in their 5th premiership team here tonight. He was part of that Mariners success in 06-07. Didn't play any games, but was part of the squad that year. Then in 10-11 with Brisbane, and then he made the switch to Sydney in that 16-17 season. Alex Wilkinson, also success with the Mariners in the early years of the A-League before joining Sydney FC, and post that time in South Korea where he had great success with John Book as well. What a winner he is, Robbie Slater.
Fantastic professional, a leader both on and off the field, and a real role model.
Have you been invited to this Wolves reunion, Robbie?
The Wolves reunion? No, I haven't. It's extraordinary, isn't it? Well, I'm not allowed in the clean zone. I'm in the dirty zone with you, Speedy.
But you've got Carl Robinson and Steve Corica both in midfield for many a year at Wolves. Then you've got Baisley, the assistant. He played alongside them at Walsall. Robbie Slater was there. Kevin Muscat was there.
Kevin Muscat, exactly.
Well, what happened to you? Well, they're all coaches, and you wound up being the pundit. Sydney FC get things underway in Tuesday night football in the A-League. Won back sharply by Angus Thurgate. And here's Miller. Newcastle playing with that back 3 and the wing backs. Miller on the right side, O'Toole on the left, and it's been a good switch for them under Robinson.
Yeah, and look, yeah, that's key for tonight for the Jets. And you see Matthew Miller going really high already. He's a real attacking threat down that right-hand side. O'Toole as well on the left-hand side. And what about this guy? 40 to see him.
Yeah, 40-odd games for Sydney FC. Bernie Abini whipped in by Miller, and O'Donovan trying to get there. It was well defended by the 2 centre halves. Bernie Abini knows Carl Robinson well from their time together with the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS. So he joined the club in February, just on a short-term deal until the end of the season. that's become a bit of a longer-term deal, of course, with what's gone on.
Well, let's hope that we see him stay on these shores. Terrific player, Bernie Abini. Dynamic, very fast.
Miller, heavy touch, just allowed Zulo to step up. Had been 14 straight starts for Joel King in that left-back role before the return of Zulo tonight, who's had so many injury issues to overcome. Ugarkovic alongside Thurgate in midfield. Cut out by Zulo again. And Miller getting plenty of touches back to Katrumbas on the right side of that back three. Alongside the veterans Bogard and Topor Stanley. Inventive by O'Toole to give Fitzgerald a chance, but he went through the back of Ryan Grant.
Yeah, just arrived a little bit late. The header from O'Toole trying to play him in to that space that opened up behind Grant, but Grant is so good defensively and offensively. He's able to get back and get his body in between the ball and the player draws the foul. It'll be interesting. Only, as I said, 2 changes from the team that played a few days ago. I expect Newcastle to be fresher. With no Ninkovic there, a lot falls on the shoulders of Baumjohann. Was really good off the bench against Wellington, and also Caceres, who switches to the Ninkovic role on the left-hand side.
Jets dominating possession in these opening exchanges. Given back by Miller here. Caceres. To Wilkinson alongside McGowan, who was having a bit of a catch-up with his former teammate Kenny Miller, who's the assistant coach of the Newcastle Jets pre-game. They were played with the Dundee side that got relegated last year in Scotland. Here they are, both playing their trade down under now. Kenny Miller, one of the right-hand men of Carl Robinson. Grant getting forward, and it was on for Lafondra, who bent his run cleverly. Kept onside by Katrumbas with a better ball.
And Ryan Grant went diagonal instead of straight down the line. Lafondra was looking in behind the space of Topor Stanley. And that's what they give you, that mobility up front of Barbarousis and Lafondra. Always looking to go off the shoulder in behind.
Abini on the half turn, gets goal side of his man, Bernie Abini, dynamic. Oh, he couldn't keep the shot down, but that's the danger that he possesses.
Yeah, picks up the ball and he's so strong. Gets in that little gap, he bounces off Caceres. Caceres tries to foul him. Makes space on the left foot and then shanks it to the outside of the left.
Sydney FC fans were thinking back to that goal he scored in the derby with a similar move.
Went pretty much the whole ground, didn't he? 60, 70 metres.
So here we are, a live ladder with both teams credited with a point right now. Sydney FC would go to 52 points. That would be enough to take them out of reach of Wellington. Melbourne City only have 3 games remaining, so they can't catch Sydney FC at all. And then Newcastle need to get on a roll to try and catch Adelaide United, who currently occupy that 6th spot. Grant is all alone. Runs being made again. Went a little too early. Flag stays down. Scott Edling giving that one the all clear. I thought Baumjohann was clearly offside, but we'll check it all out later if it matters. Doesn't matter now. Newcastle have it back through O'Toole to the feet of O'Donovan. Played it through the legs of his opponent, but only as far as Baumjohann. Barbarousis is onside this time. First touch, didn't give him the opportunity. And Bogard asking for that flag that never came a moment ago. Good flow about this game early on.
Yeah, all the games have been like that. Always had a good start. He gets a free kick now. He's the holder, of course. Trail will be a little bit more forward than him, but will take turns to get slightly more forward, and Ugarkovic, the sitter for Newcastle.
Grant floating one out to Zullo. Caceres pushing on ahead of him. Ball to feet. Little flick was clever by Lafondra. And Barbarouses just crowded out the second consecutive time by Topol, Stanley and Bogart. Zullo won it back late. Challenge. Advantage was there, but Chris Beath wants to make an early statement with the whistle.
Yeah, could have played on. Sydney were in good possession, had Lafondra and Barbarouses forward as well. Clearly a foul.
That's the second in a row against Ugarkovic. He prompted the whistle earlier with that little nibble at Bratton as well. So Steve Corica, a championship winner in his first year as head coach. Chance to wrap up the Premier's played in season 2 in charge after succeeding Graham Arnold. He won his fair share of silverware in charge, of course, before heading to the Socceroos job. Now Zullo. Ball will stay in. Driven in. Looking for Grant at the back post. Newcastle defended it well. There was half a chance for a counter-attack. It still might be on. Had to plot their way through. And in the end, Topol Stanley gave it away with a sloppy pass. Thurgate can open up the pitch. Miller helping it on to Abini just off the back heel.
Yeah, he couldn't collect that, because if he did, he was one-on-one with probably Wilkinson.
Time the referee let the advantage go after Zullo was crunched. He's in the wars early on, Michael Zullo. Welcome back to the starting lineup. Dropping a few knocks already. Gets it from Caceres. Ball wasn't quite on, Italiano can claim. Doesn't have Glenn Moss for backup anymore. Moss played his 250th game coming off the bench. You may remember in that final game, the win over Melbourne City before lockdown, and then announced his retirement in the last month or so. Become the goalkeeping coach with MacArthur Bulls for next season. Miller's ball in, dealt with by Wilkinson. Miller can keep it alive. Next to get towards that byline again. Half-hearted claims for a handball. Sydney FC can't get out here, and Ugarkovic played a nice little 1-2 and earns his team a corner.
Yeah, Miller's seen plenty of the ball early. A mistake from Caceres, little 1-2, and Ugarkovic couldn't produce the cross. But all the attacks for Newcastle so far coming down that right-hand side.
Fitzgerald. Topol Stanley let it go in the end, and they can have another go. Of course, this is normally the domain of Dimi Petratos, who takes all of the set pieces, leads the league for balls into the penalty area, but now we see someone else on corner duty for the Jets, with Petratos alongside two of his brothers on the bench tonight. Barbarouses getting there to guard that near post. Settles for the throw. Can you ever remember
Three brothers?
Three brothers on the bench? That's what Carl Robinson has at his disposal tonight. The Welshman who returned to Canada and had to come back via quarantine. He was watching the Jets train for a couple of weeks there, sitting in his hotel room. No whistle forthcoming for Lafondra, who took a tumble. It's a couple of the Petratos boys.
That's a big shout to lead out Dimitri Petratos, but obviously what he's seen on the training field, he's gone with this 11. I'm sure will play some part in their 4 games. There's no doubt about that.
We saw the other night the subs could make a big difference in the second half. Wellington had a couple of guns to bring on. Sydney FC brought on the speed of Bahaja, and that was the difference maker. Five substitutions available to each manager in each game until the end of the season. Won by Thurgate, and he thinks he's played it out off Caceres. I thought that was a bit of a gamble for the Jets to let that one roll.
Yeah, I always thought that was going to be a corner if he let it roll. Not sure if he got any help from the players beside him, but clearly came off the Newcastle player, and Sydney will get their first corner.
Beautiful conditions here. Pitch in good order. Just a light zephyr of a breeze for midweek football. Johan to deliver. Bending away. McGowan getting on the end of it. Barbarouses had another half chance. Couldn't fashion a shot. And Abini gets it out of play.
Oh, it's a terrific ball from the set piece. First corner, and Johan delivers a real quality ball in there. And in the end, Newcastle had to scramble it away.
Driven deep to Grant. Dealt with by O'Toole. Now Johan back into a dangerous spot. Fired into the feet of Barbarouses. Topor Stanley with the physicality right in front of Mark Bosnich, who's got a great view of the action so far.
Good evening, Brenton. Good evening, Robin. Good evening, all the viewers. Yeah, a really good start to the game from both sides. I think we're going to see that more and more with these conditions being absolutely perfect for football. And by that, I mean the actual weather. It's absolutely great weather. Two things to watch out for. If you watch very, very closely, sometimes Newcastle are actually putting 4, even 5 men up front. But they try as best they can through Thurgate and through Fitzgerald to make sure one of them are always up front with O'Donovan and Abini. And that's why they want to keep at least 4 or at minimum of 3 of Sydney men back, because they realise that Sydney get all their width from their fullbacks. But Sydney slowly but surely coming into it. And one thing that Newcastle got to be careful of, obviously, is that they keep this high line, even though Barbarouses and Lafondra are starting to run in behind them, which is putting them in 2 minds, because Topor Stanley and Bogart are much more comfortable when things are in front of them rather than behind them.
Thanks, Bozza. Look forward to your insights throughout the evening at pitch level. Garkovic told to turn. Again, Miller seeing plenty of the ball. That time he was asked to backtrack.
Yeah, and I guess with the 3 at the back, when Sydney do come forward, with Barbarouses and Lafondra with that speed, that there's always one that can drop off at the last moment.
Fitzgerald on the move. O'Toole with that cultured left boot of his found Fitzgerald, but McGowan got across in time.
It's a good play from Rattray. Saw that McGowan was in trouble, just offered himself up as the bouncer.
Grant, little dink, little 1-2 as well, and 3. Beautiful play by Sydney FC. Barbarouses looking for Lafondra. A slip might cost the Jets. All the way back, Rattray trying to place it off Thurgate, and Sydney FC should have gotten a lot more out of that attacking move.
Well, a slip allows Lafondra in, and his touch let him down. His first touch took it backwards when he just needed to really cushion it, and his next touch would have been a strike at goal. What a chance for Sydney. Brilliant transition. Barbarouses and Ryan Grant.
Yeah, that interplay was superb, wasn't it? The timing as well. The understanding of Grant to play that ball first time back to Barbarouses. Ugarkovic able to face forward. And Thurgate punched it through, hoping to find O'Donovan. He was under pressure. Young Gus. Saw him lead the line earlier this season, Angus Thurgate. Here's the earlier move, Robbie.
Yeah. Plays it into Barbarouses. Soft touch back to Ryan Grant. This is a mishit cross and the slip for Kachumbas. And Lafondra takes it back, and his touch wasn't good. And the chance goes begging.
Surprised he didn't hit it first time.
Yeah, he could have hit it, because there wasn't much pace on that cross. And the big slip from Kachumbas, he could have hit it first time.
Big chance to go outright top of the Golden Boot standings. He's got games in hand on Jamie McLaren as well. They're both locked at the top on 18 goals this season after Lafondra's penalty the other night. To the Jets for kicking the ball away after Sydney FC were awarded the free kick.
So Sydney again, plenty of ball to Ryan Grant and Zulo on the left if it goes out there, because O'Toole and Miller are dropping right back next to their centre half. So you get a line of 5 across the back. Fitzgerald and Abini, it's very difficult to get out there that quick.
Use of the body by O'Toole, just check the run of Grant. Tough one for Thurgate to control. Redtray now able to face forward. Johan. O'Toole just got a little nick away. Abini, dynamic turn again. Bernie Abini riding through challenges. Looking really fit and fresh is Bernie. Now Fitzgerald. Nick Fitzgerald trying to bend it for that top corner. Lightning attack sparked by the Jets man of the moment.
And you see the power with which he runs with the ball and the pace, and he's able to keep it under control. He had Miller down the right. He couldn't get to him, so he just goes straight through the middle. Super ball out to Fitzgerald, who's already made up his mind. He wants to shift it onto his right and try and hit that top corner, but a way off in the end. But brilliant play from Abini. That's what we remember of him, so much power and speed.
Left Sydney FC at the back end of that 16-17 season after scoring 10 goals for the club. Bernie Abini. Nick Fitzgerald scored just before half-time in that win over Melbourne City on March 23.
Bratton dropping deep to try and start the play, get some space, and it's offside.
Yep, flag will go up this time against Lafondra. That back three in sync for the Jets. There they are, 4 clear of Bessart Barisha. Plenty in double figures at this stage of the season. You have to think it's between Lafondra and McLaren for that prize.
Bessart Barisha might be sitting in his hotel room shaking his head.
Might have fired him up.
Could fire him up. It's a dangerous thing. A couple of quick fire hat tricks. He's capable.
Maybe do it in one game. He scored 4 in a game before. There's never been a hat-trick in this fixture, which is a bit of a surprise. Plenty of braces and spectacular moments. And Milton Rodriguez, famous double for the Jets. Del Piero came up with a brace as well in this fixture, but no one's gotten to 3. Up the middle, risky play, cut out the pass from Bogart. Johan looks to strike immediately. Lafondra for Caceres. Jets regroup defensively, plenty of bodies in the road. Zulo. Italiano may have been calling Bogart out of that one, but the defender took it upon himself. The assistant referee wasn't quite sure in his read on body language there. It was Sydney FC's throw all the way, and he pointed the other way. And it was the referee, Chris Beath, on top of things, saying it was a Sydney FC throw.
You see the work he has to do, Fitzgerald, to get out there to Ryan Grant. And so O'Toole goes right back.
advance again. Checks back for Rattray. Grattan is square. Grant. Barbarouses being monitored by Topo Stanley. Grant kept on going. He's in the mood tonight, isn't he? Ryan Grant, fabulous play again. Tried to dink it to the back post. He saw Lafondra screaming for it. Not quite the pass they were after at the end of it.
It was the right idea. Just overhit it, didn't it? It was still a difficult one because Newcastle had a lot of bodies in the box, but super run. Well played in by Barbarouses. First touch took him past the defender and he was in behind.
Beanie pulling out the tricks. His own defensive third.
Sydney decide to press and have good possession of the ball, Newcastle, so they go long.
Pretty good option too. Found the chest of Fitzgerald. Miller is the target now. Donovan getting into the area. Likewise, Beanie. And Sydney FC just got their numbers back in time, but Miller with strength on the ball. Beanie. Away by Grant. And on by Balmiohan. No fouls there as a couple of Sydney FC players went down, and the shot was speculative from Ugarkovic. Redmayne right behind it.
Tell you what, he got a hold of it, didn't he? Redmayne down to his right-hand side. Comfortable save in the end. Good hands. Look at this for a strike. Barbarouses looking for a foul there. Good first touch on the half volley, and that zips across the surface. Bounces in front of Redmayne, who takes it well.
Just 7 A-League goals, but he has scored some crackers, and Ernie Merrick was always into him, saying you've got to score more goals from midfield. You're capable. He's hardly put a foot wrong tonight, hasn't he? The pass selection has been outstanding. It's great to see a Socceroo in form like this.
That's brilliant play from Sydney. One-touch football.
Saris ran to space, received from Zulo. Back to Rattray. Bratton's all alone, thinking about the strike. Tried to disguise it instead. And the Beanie again wins a nice little 50-50 duel. Donovan can't get into the game as yet on his milestone night. Made that switch back to Newcastle after being with Brisbane under Robbie Fowler. Balmiohan now to the byline. Across the face, and Sydney FC take the lead. Casera sliding in with Miller. Not sure who got the final touch, but the Premiers-elect take the lead 24 minutes in.
Well, such is the quality of the cross. Two players sliding in, the defender and Caceres. Don't know who came off last, but such was the quality of his ball in. Look at this, doesn't admire his pass. Ryan Grant's aware, and then he's too quick for Thurgate. Look at this, slides this across, and I think that might have come off the defender. But brilliant play from Sydney. Balmiohan doesn't check back. Forces himself past Thurgate, picks out the perfect assist.
It's the 6th assist of the season for Alex Balmiohan, who got the main celebration ahead of Caceres, who just told Costa Barbarouses, I reckon, on the replay, nah, not mine, it's an Oggie.
Yeah, but it's his pressure because he's there. That's why the Oggie gets scored. It's either going to be him or the defender. But such was the quality into that area. There was only one result, and that was going to be a goal. Some of their passing in the last 5 minutes, one touch. Splitting Newcastle open. Been outstanding from Sydney.
And again, it was Ryan Grant with the perfect pass. And how often does Balmiohan get into that position when others butcher it? He always seems to pull the right rein.
No, but what I liked about the move as well is that, you know, he passes the ball in and there's no hesitation. He's on his bike. And Ryan Grant knows it, plays it in the space. Thurgate just couldn't stay with him.
Beanie switching it up. Pretty handy ball for O'Toole as well. can Fitzgerald do? Bends it back post, and Abini should be able to keep this one in. And Ernie's team the throw.
Now our fourth game, and all of the games have some really good play. Passing from both teams. Newcastle have been good in this opening period. So they just put on the accelerator, didn't they, for 5 minutes there, and come up with the goal.
Beanie again shielding it, and again the radar is on for O'Toole. Away by Grant. Quite enough elevation to clear the right back. That combination about Johan and Grant. Look at the pass again from Ryan Grant. The oohs and ahs at Cogra tonight, summing up how well he's going. Stanley advanced, and Donovan presented. Sydney FC got there with a double team in the end. One back by Ugarkovic. Miller on the move. Thurgate, wonderful ball. O'Donovan waits in the middle. Wilkinson got a little fortunate. Grant there as backup. Newcastle putting some heat on, looking for that equaliser.
Yeah, Miller down the right-hand side again. He's been involved in everything. Another good run. He's like a right winger when the ball goes up into the opposing half, and Wilkinson well positioned.
He's had some crossing opportunities. Connor O'Toole, who had Bobby Burns as a contender for that left-back spot for a while now, but Burns returned to his Scottish club, Hearts, during the COVID period and won't be returning down under.
They lost Houlihan as well. About Houlihan, Wes Houlihan, because we never really saw the best of him because of that injury he had. He'd just come back really when everything was stopped. Miller having a fine game so far.
Look at that for a right back. Some of those passes have been absolutely outstanding. 93%, and they haven't been backwards and sideways from Ryan Grant. Topo Stanley to keep it alive. Great header. Thurgate trying to place it on the left. Well teed up by the big centre half.
Yeah, it's coming down. It's a half a chance, isn't it? Here's the goal again. Bomyahan slides that across. Caceres does well to attack the ball.
Baby tribute celebration, married to a footballer.
So was it Caceres' goal?
Looks like he's claiming it there, doesn't it? Still yet to be convinced who got the final touch. I thought Miller may have slid it into his own net. So now see preparing an early change here with half an hour gone. Harry van der Sarg waiting to come on, so maybe a little injury concern. By Bratton and O'Donovan. More on that change that is brewing. Let's check in with Tara Rushton.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brenton. We just actually shouted over the fence where we are in the dirty area to try and find out what was happening. It looks like Ryan Grant has potentially injured or tightened his groin area. They pointed to the back of his right hammy area, so groin or hamstring at this point of time, and Harry van der Sar is about to come on right now.
Well, what a shame after the performance he's produced in the opening half hour.
Yeah, but smart from Steve Corrigan. He's risking it. So many games in front. He was on fire in that opening half an hour.
So the 20-year-old Harry van der Sar making his 9th A-League appearance, and played in that right-back role way back when in pre-season against Kylian Mbappe when the Sky Blues faced off against PSG. Caceres again. Find an angle for a potential through ball. He knew his teammate had straight offside as well. Now the Jets quickly the other way. Oh, what a ball! Bernie Abini to O'Donovan. Cuts it back and it's cut out by McGowan again. A striker unable to get a first-time finish away after a quite brilliant ball. Not sure we saw Bernie Abini playing passes like that in his previous stint in the A-League.
Super ball just a little bit too far, because normally O'Donovan's going to strike that if he can.
Now O'Donovan's in behind for the equaliser. Great save, Andrew Redmayne, with the outstretched left leg. Denies the Irishman the equaliser after a beautiful through ball again.
Well, he's unlucky. He's done the right thing, but what a save from Andrew Redmayne. Mistake from the substitute, Van der Sar. Clever little ball and great run from O'Donovan going across the keeper, and he just stays big and sticks that leg out, and that's what saves it. That's brilliant goalkeeping from Redmayne. And Rio O'Donovan, he cannot believe that he hasn't scored.
I saw at the back end of that replay Van der Sar apologising to Andrew Redmayne, the youngster not quite up to the speed of the game, was robbed of possession.
Yeah, he tried a clever little turn, and you need to play yourself into the game before you start doing that. Anyway, his goalkeeper saved him.
Fitzgerald gives it plenty of air this time. Katrumbas, clever first touch, but couldn't keep the second one down.
Yeah, it just didn't come down quick enough for him, and McGowan put enough pressure on him. He had to take it early because the ball hadn't come down enough. It was always going to go over. But again, Newcastle on the set piece, winning the header. This ball came down from some height. There he cushions it, and see it's not going to come down quick enough. McGowan applying the pressure.
But also Caceres put his body in there and then apologised, backed off because he didn't expect that clever first touch from Katrumbas and nearly fouled him. Thurgate quick to pounce after a heavy touch from Redtrain. Abini has lost out for the first time so far. Johan keeps it rolling for Van der Sar. And that'll slide out for a throw.
An important interception from Topper Stanley, as Lafondra was away. Again, Bomyahan, just so clever, quick feet. Cuts inside, 2 touches, and sees the run of Lafondra.
Slow it down one more time.
Here we go.
Caceres, left boot.
Yeah, I think that's Caceres. You've got to give it to him, don't you?
Yeah, bigger celebration next time, please.
Well, his body language suggested that it was an own goal.
Yeah, and that he doesn't deserve one for a tap-in. Chris Beath waves off the appeal. He was perfectly positioned to adjudicate on whether that handball warranted a penalty. It was accidental, hand by his side on Thurgate. Play on.
Yep.
Lovely way to Pass again for Fitzgerald. Came from Thurgate. Numbers forward again, as Mark Bosnich identified. The Jets really getting on the front foot. Now they've got to pick the right pass to get in behind again.
Well, you look at the position. There's Miller. He's up there as the right winger, and O'Toole on the left the same.
O'Toole brings it down for Fitzgerald. Sydney FC so well organised, best defensive record in the comp, and the Jets are finding it hard to penetrate. Garkovic, Beanie, Miller's out there, and
That's what he wanted to do.
careless pass in the end.
Yeah.
Has only one to try and find. That was Lafondra. It's pretty comfortable for Italiano coming off his line.
That's better from Newcastle. Get the ball out early to Miller so he can face forward.
Thurgate again. And O'Toole's cross lets him down.
His first touch needed to be better because he was in a great position. He was in a good position. Here's the handball. Yeah, can't get it for that.
Steve Corica asked for it, Mark Bosnich, but he didn't deserve it, did he?
No, he didn't. Absolutely spot on by Chris Beef, and as you said as well, Brenton, wonderful positioning by the referee. Just want to say a quick word for Newcastle. I think Newcastle have been marginally the better side, but Sydney showed one thing, and this is why they're on the cusp of being crowned premiers, play champions of the season, if you like. When you've got somebody who's as deadly as Bomyaham, wonderful setup play, and also a goalkeeper who's playing as well as Andrew Redmayne, it's amazing what can be achieved. You know, under normal circumstances, that's not a goal for Sydney because of that wonderful play by Bomyaham, and Newcastle go up 1-0, but for a fantastic save from Andrew Redmayne.
Closing in on half-time now. Sydney FC, the only goal of the game. Steve Corica just talking young Harry van der Sarg through it. He's had a tough start to proceedings as a first-half substitute. Strong work by Topo Stanley. Took it off the goal scorer. Nice switch from Bogart. Miller, there's always an outlet for them. Requires a Beanie in the wide area this time. Whips it in at pace. And it'll stay in as well for Fitzgerald. Numbers in the box again for Thurgate. Oh, O'Toole,
That's sloppy.
wrong-footed.
He needed to keep going the way he was going. Thurgate, he came back. He only had O'Toole there, and a sloppy pass, but he had Miller definitely on the right-hand side and was going that way. Well, I don't mind that from Bernie Beanie. The ball was overhit, but instant cross played in by Miller. He gets it right. He didn't get the delivery right, but they're the most dangerous ones.
Ricochets for a Beanie. Nice move on Wilkinson. Bernie a Beanie, and across came McGowan. There's that combination in central defence, bailing one another out.
It's a pretty good first half, hasn't he, Beanie? He's looked sharp, powerful.
Slice to the back post. The Beanie back in. And Redmayne punched clear. Took out every man in his way to do so. Topo Stanley to Fitzgerald. Ugarkovic. Tough to keep that one down.
He had time, lets it roll across his body and just hits it leaning back slightly, but he'd made up his mind early. It's good defending from Sydney. And dive in again here. Retray. Here's the ball back. Well worth a try. slices it.
Redmayne in no hurry to take this goal kick. Starting to manage the game already. Here's Redders. Robinson just talking to the fourth official about how long some things are taking. Tim Danaskos, the fourthie tonight.
Didn't have enough movement there, Newcastle.
Caceres v Katrumbas got across with a good show of speed. Johnny Katrumbas. Topor Stanley being pressured, and Bratton desperate to keep it in after that first touch. Fantastic play by Luke Bratton.
Really well done from Bratton.
Big up and under. Topor Stanley doesn't lose out in too many 50-50s like that. Johan asked the ref about the physicality. That's what you've got to get used to in the A-League against the big boys at the back.
This is where they've got to go quick, Newcastle, before Sydney sets. Chance gone.
On the move after playing that pass and just a metre or so away from being in behind there, Steve Ugarkovic.
Yeah, he came late, deep from midfield, and again picked him up. You look at the benches, and they played such an important part in the game that was played here at Sydney Wellington. In this kind of game, when Sydney set their block like that, they're difficult to break down, and Dimitri Petratos, kind of player that can be creative, maybe open up a defence. Sydney haven't offered much in the last 10 minutes or so, really.
Barbarousis lost possession again with a heavy touch. Hasn't been his half as yet, but he's poised to create history by becoming the first man to win Premier's plates with 3 different clubs. First with Brisbane, then the Victory, and now Sydney FC. Topor Stanley not on the same page with Fitzgerald. Newcastle know they have to win games. Can't just scrape out points at the moment, so they'll look to turn it around in the second half to keep their finals hopes alive. Carl Robinson pitting wits against Steve Corica, who's poised to match Vidislav Levitska with wins as Sydney FC's coach. He's going to do it in 36 fewer games as well. You think back to Levitska's success, and it sums up what Corica has done since succeeding Arnie.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job, and their recruitment's been first class. Only a minute extra time added on, but you know, when you think back when they lost Jerzewski and they lost Bobo and the big centre half, the big Dutch centre half, it was difficult to see how they were going to replace those kind of players. The big one was keeping Ninkovic, of course. The recruitment of Lafondra on your hand, first class.
Is that Jordi Bos?
That's it, Jordi Bos. Barbarousis, of course.
It's the 1 minute of stoppage time. Just about elapsed. Is there just enough time for the Jets to mount something? through Miller. To get back to his feet in time. Abini providing width again. Around the corner for Miller. Stands it up. Here comes Thurgate. And that was the chance for the equaliser right on the stroke of half-time. Beautiful football again from the Jets, but so far they're coming up empty-handed.
Well, he should have done better. What a chance that is for Thurgate. He hits Redmayne. Anywhere else you think he scores.
But it's the 8th goal in the A-League career of Anthony Caceres that separates the two teams. It was dedicated to his wife, Helen Patinos, Helen Caceres, as they celebrate the baby.
For your health and safety, a Hyundai's jacket official in the ball.
Do we want to be near the TV to talk to it or not?
One sec. Go again. We're doing the goal first, right? Yep. And that was Thurgate, right? So the saves will be together.
Hey, Fredo, how far can that move?
When we talk about Andrew Redmayne in goal, it's going to show his left leg off Roy O'Donovan, and it's going to go into his last save there.
Thurgate's first name is Angus, isn't it?
Yes, Angus. So it's going to go the 2 saves.
Allegra was upset when I picked her up. She reckons her best friend's top ball.
And he's identified.
But I told her to go, she reckons that she thought that she got
refused entry.
She just doesn't think that she was crying.
Potentially banned from
So what should I tell her? Just say, look, if she doesn't talk to you tomorrow, don't get up, because she'll get all upset.
We ask you to respect your fellow spectators.
Oh, you know what I say? Take my phone and tell her she doesn't talk, I'll come down and kick the shit.
Hey, Tara, Speedy.
Yeah, hi.
Anthony Caceres and Helen Caceres.
Patinos, yeah.
Baby due in November, their first baby.
Cool.
So.
Are you a mini group participant? Are you a football participant or parent? Do you support a Hyundai A-League club? This is your chance to show us your passion and to win. The return of the Hyundai A-League, we want you to share your support for them around the grounds. There are plenty of ways to get creative and show us how you're supporting your Hyundai A-League team. Show us your photos or videos watching TV on your couch, supporting your club by wearing your colours to school or work, singing and chanting for your team at home, in the supermarket or in the local park, or playing like your heroes on the football pitch at your local club. All you need to do is upload your photos or videos to social media for your chance to win. Make sure to use the hashtag #FootballReturns and tag @A-League in your entries and visit mininews.com.au for more information.
Welcome back to your Tuesday night of football live on Fox Sports. It is the battle for the Premier's Plate. City FC in the race for their record 4th Premier's Plate up against the Newcastle Jets here tonight at Cogra. And as it stands, 1-0 City FC head into the sheds at the half-time break. It looks like it is going home with them. We still, though, have another half of football to be played yet, Mark Bosnich. But it's a cracking contest, so we can't be assured just yet. We know that Sydney just need 1 point. But Newcastle Jets have been incredibly sharp too.
They have, and it's a wonderful night for football. There's no doubt about that. And I just have to say, Newcastle really impressed me. I thought they were the better side, but as I said just before the break, when Brenton Speed came down to me and asked me to comment about, you know, the score and that. When you're playing against a champion side, you've got to understand it only takes them really one chance, like you just saw, and they're absolutely clinical with that opportunity. And also, great teams always have invariably great goalkeepers. Andrew Redmayne's save from O'Donovan was absolutely fantastic. And they had another chance right at the end as well, Newcastle, when really, to be honest, it was actually harder to do what he did rather than put it either side of the goalkeeper. That goes 1 metre either side of the goalkeeper, and it's 1-1.
We're going to take a look at those saves, but they are asking all the right questions, the Jets. But it was Sydney FC that got the action underway. Some beautiful lead-up play to this moment here that just forced, I guess, the mistake in Anthony Caceres to make the most of it.
Absolutely fantastic, Tara. And look, this is a wonderful example as well for all young players watching. If Thurgate and Birmingham had a race over 40 metres, I reckon Thurgate would probably beat him not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. If you watch very closely, just watch what Birmingham does. See how he just drags the player in. I'll show you right here. Slows down and then accelerates. And just goes to show you sharpness of the mind can sometimes beat sharpness of your physical abilities. And an absolutely great finish as well coming in from Caceres. Very, very brave. But like I said, for me, Newcastle had the better of the play, but Sydney once again showing why they are a champion side.
Nice little tribute there from Anthony Caceres to his wife, Helen, who's expecting their bub in November. So wishing Helen all the best of luck with that one. You were speaking about it there. The Newcastle Jets were asking all of those questions, and it was Andrew Redmayne that was so big and strong for them in goal. He's been outstanding tonight.
Yes, he has. And you watch here, once again, Newcastle, wonderful pressing in the right area. O'Donovan doesn't do anything wrong there. It's going right towards the corner, but that is absolutely fantastic goalkeeping. Again, watch very, very closely. Stands up, cuts the angle right down. He's right in the middle where he should be. And that's a wonderful save from the leg. And his goalkeeper coach as well, Nashi, would be very, very happy with that. Wonderful from a technical point of view. And right at the end here, watch this. That goes a metre either side. That is a goal. And, you know, when you talk about football and people say about, you know, which team dominated, look at this, that and the other, the simplest thing to look at is which goalkeepers made the more saves. And if you look at that, Andrew Redmayne and Sydney FC's goalkeepers made the more saves. So we noticed as well on the bench, but when Newcastle went 1-0 down, they seem to deflate a little bit here on the bench, and they just got to keep going. If they keep playing like this, they should win this game. They should still be thinking like that, but they are up against the champions.
Yeah, very, very tough to come up against the champions. You do feel like they have a goal or two in them, though, don't you, Bozza? I want to see what you've made of Bernie Ibini. It's great to see him back in the A-League, finally playing football again. In this break as well, he had the time, an extended period of time, to get his body back and right and fit again.
100%, and this is where Carl Robinson and his staff have to take a lot of credit as well. They realise that Bernie Ibini is most dangerous when he gets a chance to have a bit of time and space to run at people. So if you watch it very, very closely, and we're very lucky here because we can see the whole pitch, he normally starts up front with Roy O'Donovan. Invariably, it's him who actually comes in between the lines or even a little bit deeper to pick the ball up, because once he gets a run on you, he is absolutely phenomenal. His performance had everything in the first half but a goal.
So Carl Robinson, what is he going to want to see from his side come the second half to at least, I mean, if they equalise, Sydney FC still go home with the Premier's
keep
plate?
Exactly the same. They were excellent in that first half. From a tactical point of view, from everything, but just got to keep their concentration. We saw as well when they conceded the goal, they had just been attacking. So a lot of teams normally, unfortunately, when they have been attacking, they just think, okay, we'll be okay, they won't score again. But when you're playing against a champion side that Sydney FC are, you've got to be switched on all the time. It was just that one little moment, just that moment, bang, goal, and all of a sudden you're down. So he's just got to keep them going, keep their spirits up, and keep them doing exactly the same thing that they did in that first half.
They've got Joe Ledley on the bench. They've got Divi Petratos on the bench as well. We'll see what they can dish up come the second half. We are off to a short break, but a huge second half coming up on the other side between Sydney FC and the Newcastle Jets. Can Sydney FC leave Cogra with the Premier's plate in tow? It'll be a record 4th Premier's plate for them. We'll have all of the celebrations and reactions if they can do so after the game. We'll see you very soon.
increase by signing up for our skills training program. Listen to our very own Hyundai explain the benefits of the sessions with the Sydney FC's qualified coaches. And don't forget, you can use your New South Wales Active Kids vouchers for the program.
The Sydney FC skill training program is delivered by qualified Sydney FC coaches who focus on 4 core skills in childhood. We focus on teaching the players in a fun and safe environment so they can learn new skills in an upcoming season.
Hope you're enjoying your A-League football feast at the moment, and the action keeps on coming thick and fast. The Perth Glory, after that win on the Central Coast, back in action tomorrow night. They take on the Wellington Phoenix, who put up a great show against Sydney FC on the competition's resumption. Reno Piscopo and co at Bankwest tomorrow night as the Glory take on the Knicks. And on Friday night, the Mariners against the Jets in a derby. It's all coming your way on Fox Sports. There's the goal scorer, Anthony Caceres. Not that you would have known it, the way he celebrated. 8th goal in his A-League career. Been around a long time now. Made his debut against the Jets in one of those F3 derbies in 2013 as a 20-year-old. So Joe Ledley catching up with Ryan McGowan. Whether we'll see Ledley come on and try and boss things in midfield. He had to go through that 2-week quarantine period. Says he never wants to see an exercise bike again because it was the main tool he utilised to stay fit during that period. Tony Abini with a fantastic first half performance in his first start as a Newcastle Jet. Just couldn't finish off some of his superb lead-up work. Donovan had a chance or two. And right on half-time, Angus Thurgate didn't really test Andrew Redmayne, who's keeping a clean sheet for now in game number 163 in the A-League. The Socceroo shot stopper, of course. So the Jets get the second half underway. Desperate to get 3-point results going in their final 4 games of the campaign.
Yeah, that's
got to come from behind here.
Yep, and that's what it's about for them. They've got to win. And there were signs that, well, that Carl Robinson will feel like they should have scored. They had enough chances. That one on half-time you just alluded to, Thurgate, it's a poor header and a terrific position.
Italiano stylishly done to play out from the back and find Topol Stanley, who helped it onto space. And Thurgate was waiting. Ugarkovic. The diagonal will find Miller. And from one end to the other in a hurry go Newcastle. Well, layoff worked out for Thurgate. Second time effort now for Angus Thurgate. Deflected wide and they get a corner out of it.
About that from defence to attack. Deep inside their own half. Sweeping ball diagonal out to Matthew Miller, and Thurgate's initial shot was blocked. He was on target.
Fitzgerald, Katrumbas trying to help it on all the way through to the back post and cleared off the line by Alex Baumjohann, who gets thanks from Andrew Redmayne, who was nearly bundled over by the Jets.
No, it wasn't great defending from Sydney, was it? Katrumbas at the near post completely unmarked, and it goes through a host of bodies there past Bratton, and lucky for Sydney that Baumjohann was alert.
Prevented an own goal perhaps off Bratton. Fitzgerald again dealt with by the man coming off that near post, Lafondra. Robinson just talking Ugarkovic through it. That ball wasn't on.
Too straight.
Andersag, who replaced Ryan Grant midway through that first half.
Yeah, who had one of the best half an hours likely to witness. At the time he was on, Ryan Grant.
Miller played it well. Fitzgerald, deflection, and another corner. They're winning the corner count comfortably.
Well, it's an important block from Rattray because Donovan had pulled off to the back post, and that's who Fitzgerald was looking for. Newcastle starting right on the front foot in the second half. Third corner already.
Trumbus again trying to get some kind of flick on, but Fitzgerald not quite hitting those last two corners the right way, you wouldn't have thought. Bogart hits it alive. Miller. Bogart now out of position. Johan lost out, and Abini there to tidy up.
And they're hitting this right-hand side. They did that most of the first half.
Fitzgerald overhit again. Mark Bosnich has got a close-up view down on the sideline. What are you making of this performance of Bernie Abini so far? Covering the ground beautifully.
Yes, he is, Brendan, but so are Newcastle. Stephen Ugarkovic has been fantastic. Miller, well, the whole team, in my opinion, like I said, they've played really, really well. There's only one thing missing, and that's a goal. I made that point in the first half, but when you're playing against a team like Sydney, and this is where they've got to really concentrate, because when you're playing you're on top like this, the last thing you start to thinking about is that, oh, you know, we could concede a goal here. But when you're playing against the best teams, you must stay concentrating on your job, because the way that they're playing right now, it's inevitable they're going to score.
Thurgate, better ball that time. Fitzgerald to the voice of Connor O'Toole. The young left back with a chance to size things up. Didn't find the right delivery. It was easily dealt with by McGowan. Part of that successful Olympic qualifying campaign back in January. Connor O'Toole, 23 years of age now, hoping to become an Olympian next year. Fitzgerald couldn't find a way through for O'Toole. Bruce's quiet night so far. Punches one out towards Ula. Sat his man down with a header back inside. Andersag's on the move down that right-hand side. They keep it narrow for Sydney FC. Barusas lost out in the end.
Yeah, should have gone to Van der Sar just a little bit too narrow. I mean, we've seen phases in that first half. They are very good. One touch going through the middle.
It was all pretty tight on that sideline, but they worked it beautifully again, the Jets. Right Outside of the pitch open for Miller again. Thurgate playing above his years. Beanie between the lines. Miller across the face. Back in second time around. No one there for Newcastle. Sloppy by Barbarousis. O'Donovan played in. Back off the post. Can you believe that Newcastle just cannot buy a goal tonight? It was brilliant play by Topwell Stanley to provide the chance.
Yeah, the mistake from Sydney, and they pounced, and O'Donovan is so unlucky. Again, he goes across Redmayne. It's the right idea. Here's where they get sloppy. Topwell Stanley, super work. O'Donovan one-on-one across Redmayne. 9 times out of 10, he scores. And Cannon's back off the post. Sloppy from Barbarousis. Barbarousis right back in his own half, right where he doesn't want to be. Robinson shaking his head after that, thinking, how have we not scored?
12 shots to 2. And they're behind. Lovely pass by Bogart that time. O'Toole puts the head down. Fitzgerald not fouled by his former teammate Luke Bratton.
Sydney just can't get out at the moment. Bratton, he only had 2. He had Barbarousis peeling off. Lafondra was looking to go in beyond, but he was offside. Newcastle completely dominating it at the moment. Steve Corica's having a long, hard think about this. He'd say he'd have to make a change.
He's chatting to Robbie Stanton right now about the options available. Only 2 more substitution windows to utilise the 4 maximum subs left up his sleeve if he wants to go that way. You can make 5 subs, but you can only do them in 3 different windows. Bogart and Beanie taking out wonderful positions between the lines.
The passing's good as well, Speedy. That ball from Bogart punched into Beanie.
Now Miller. Beanie tried to slide it back through for Miller. Bratton strong and then chopped down.
Let him off the hook. Had nowhere to go, Bratton. Donovan got a sniff, thought he could get it. And that lets the pressure off. Bratton's done actually quite well because he had no one to hit.
His first season with Sydney FC. Made that switch with Josh Berlanti, who headed down to Melbourne City, and Luke Bratton has just fitted in seamlessly. And Sydney Town under Steve Corica. Fondra trying to play in Barbarousis. Field position Sydney FC have had in a while. Bratton. Johan shielding it away. No foul by Thurgate. There is eventually as he had hold of the shirt.
Well, the ball given to him, he's done very well to come out with that. With a free kick. He certainly wasn't favoured. He had 3 black shirts around him. As that ball was punched into him. Such is his technique, he's able to get out of it. A really difficult situation.
That's what you see referees look for in a lot of sports now. The handful of shirt being dragged back, and that's an obvious whistle, even though Thurgate was keen to debate it.
Birmingham tried to steal a couple of metres there, but Chris Beath had marked the spot. An extra couple of metres. He might have thought about the strike. He wouldn't think he would from here.
They move back post, and it's comfortable for Italiano, who can get Newcastle rolling again. Ugarkovic keeps it on the deck this time for Beanie. Now Robinson making sure Thurgate was there in the right spot in midfield to have multiple passing options for each and every Newcastle player. Beanie Weighted over the top for Miller, who was onside. FC asked for a flag that was never going to come. Miller across the face, and Wilkinson can deal with it. Header not the best. It's a second crack at it. Lafondra one out and slipped, and then accidentally fouled Bogart. He was on the deck trying to stay out of it, and the referee saw him collide with Bogart, and that prompted the whistle. What do you make of this, Robbie?
Well, he slips there and takes out Bogart. He was always going to get the throw in, but contact made up the referee's mind.
Trumbus reading it well. Newcastle swiftly on the counter. Miller in behind. Beautiful pass again from Abini, but Alex Wilkinson keeps on chopping out those balls in. Here's a chance. Back post, spectacular! Nick Fitzgerald. What a finish at the back post. And if ever a team deserved an equaliser, it is the Newcastle Jets.
Oh, super finish from Nick Fitzgerald. Great technique. Redmayne can only look on. There's no way he was going to stop that. And a clever ball. The first ball where Beanie plays in, Miller goes near post. Sydney don't deal with it. They don't clear it properly. Here it just pushes it back into space. They don't close him down quick enough either. And that's a terrific ball. Just sits it up to the back post. And what about that? Horizontal Fitzgerald. The perfect volley into the far corner. Super goal. And like you said, one they richly deserve.
First time since the 15-16 season that Nick Fitzgerald has scored in back-to-back games. What a way to cap it off. And you saw on that replay, he was a little upset that the initial ball hadn't found him. He was pouting a little bit at the back post, and then he thought, hello, this ball looks all right. And thumped it in. Andrew Redmayne stood no chance. Sydney FC have to go again. Sometimes when they get an early lead, you just wonder how keen they are to go in search of that second goal. Now they have to go for it. Although a point is enough, of course, to lift that Premier's plate here this evening. They want to do it in style. Caceres. Nice touch off Ugarkovic. Now Johan. He initiated that contact on Thurgate. So Chris Beath, play on now.
I think he did well, Nick Fitzgerald, on that goal. Like you said, he wanted that first ball from Miller, but when it didn't come, he didn't rush into the middle. He held his ground at the back post.
It's another foul committed by Stephen Ugarkovic. Sydney FC preparing a triple change, perhaps. Milos Ninkovic, a handy weapon to bring on. Michael Zullo trudges off. Not too happy about that, I don't think. The veteran left back, as Joel King steps in for him, and Trent Bahaja, the super sub from the other night, coming off a double, will replace Barbarouses, and he was more effective than Barbarouses the other night, and big chance he'll be that way again tonight, the way Costa played. And here comes Ninkovic for Baumjohann. So fresh legs were needed by Sydney FC, Robbie.
Yep, it's a smart move. Trying to wrestle the momentum back, which they haven't had for quite some time.
What'd you make of Barbarouses tonight?
Well, it wasn't a game for him, was it? It didn't. I thought he was okay in the first 20, 30 minutes when Sydney were on top before Ryan Grant. That's where you can pick the momentum swing. Although although Newcastle still had their moments in that first half an hour.
Ninkovic, lovely close control. King bends one in. Paul Stanley did enough in the middle defensively. Caceres looking for support. King provides it. Lovely shape on that first cross. Second one cut out by Katrumbas. Sydney FC right through the middle this time. Deflection! And everyone held their breath, including Luis Italiano, who was grateful to see it go wide.
Yeah, because the deflection brought the ball down. Left his boot on the up, took the deflection and it dipped right at the last moment. Italiano, you're off, was just watching it and flash past that far post.
Set up beautifully for this back half hour. Post delivery again. Jets work it clear. Oh, risky sliding challenge from Ugarkovic, but he's the one fouled in the end. Topo Stanley moves it on quickly. The Jets playing up-tempo football.
So Caceres has switched to the right-hand side. Ninkovic in his usual position on the left. So still operating with the 2 10s. Of course, Bahadur up front with Lafondra.
Robinson preparing a double change of his own. Timmy Petratos and Abdiel Arroyo, 2 regular starters throughout the campaign, about to try and make an impact off the bench. Helped on by Fitzgerald. Everything's coming off for him right now. Through the legs of his opponent. Couldn't quite pick up the second ball there. Ugarkovic! And good play by Redmayne. Plucked it out of the sky. Another shot that was travelling.
Yeah, another good hit from Ugarkovic. Straight at Redmayne though. Comfortable save. He's had a shoot-on-sight policy, Ugarkovic, this evening.
There are some goalkeepers, Mark Bosnich, who would have palmed that aside for a corner, but Redmayne has confidence in his glove work.
Yeah, he has. It kept his hands warm. It's getting quite cold down here, Brenton, as well. But just want to, again, special word for Newcastle. You know, I've come to watch Sydney a lot of times here this season, and the vast majority of times they've been very good, if not fantastic. The game against Melbourne City comes to mind when they went down to 10 men. But tonight, I can't remember a time when I've seen them so comprehensively outplayed. But it's still 1-1. So, you know, you don't get any points for outplaying someone and just drawing. Newcastle have got to make this pay. You know, they've got to take advantage of how well they're playing.
Well, here comes Dimi Petratos, who has been their main man. Gets to play the last 25 minutes plus here. Raised that question about 3 brothers on the bench. Of course, the Jets had 3 brothers at the same time. The Griffiths boys 18 years ago or so. I don't think they're on the bench together, though. And Robbie Slater, you played alongside the O'Shea brothers, 3 of them.
That's it. John O'Shea, Robbie O'Shea and Michael O'Shea.
Back in
I
the
didn't
mid-80s.
remember it.
Yeah. They wouldn't have been on the bench together either, though.
No, they all played. They're all starters.
Thanks to Andy Howe Stato, who you can follow on Twitter for that info.
Who never misses a beat.
Petratos whips it in. Good-looking ball, back post. And Sydney FC have to scramble. Still alive. Katrumbas went down, meat in the sandwich. And Sydney FC emerge unscathed there.
Johnny! That's your recovery shot.
Super set piece to the back post. And is it Topo Stanley that kept it alive? Or Katrumbas? Well, dangerous, and he defended that pretty well in the end. And luckily, that ball drops to McGowan.
And Topo Stanley was borderline offside, but the flag never came, and there's no VAR for the rest of the regular season. So the goal would have stood had Carl Robinson's side found the back of the net. They have been very friendly with one another since Carl Robinson came down under, but the text messaging and phone calls stopped for the last week or so. Bit of banter there. And here's Bahadur. Trent Bahadur blocked by Bogart. Bratton. Still Luke Bratton jinking this way and that. Tried to win a foul. There's nothing doing. Redtrain turning away from Ugarkovic and Ninkovic. Van der Sar overlapping. Saris used him as a decoy. Ninkovic, some of his touches already have been super to watch. Wilkinson advanced. King can't get the corner, kept in by Italiano.
That's what Ninkovic brings. He's the kind of player that can slow the game down. That's what Sydney need. Newcastle absolutely firing this evening, but get the ball to him, dinks one way, keeps the ball, always receives the ball under pressure.
Sydney FC were cutting the Jets to ribbons down that right-hand side when it was Grant and Balmiohan early on. Van der Sar hasn't got the same joy. Joe Ledley clearly wins that beard off as he waits to make his entrance. Ninkovic. Here's Van der Sar, bit of room. And Katrumba stands up again when required ahead of Lafondra. A quarter of the game to go. Here comes Joe Ledley with that Premier League experience. Ninkovic looks sprightly. Bratton. Van der Sar just had to hold his run for a moment. This might break his way here. Van der Sar in behind Topor Stanley. Keeps it in, does Harry.
Sydney enjoying their best bit of possession since the second half started.
Should be Italianos in this. At will throughout the evening. Tired looking pass to Arroyo, trying to split a couple of Sydney FC players. Caceres had a couple to beat. Topor Stanley.
And look how advanced Topor Stanley is. Jets know they need 3 points.
Sydney FC need just the one to lift the silverware in about 25 minutes time. Ninkovic past Bogart, he's upended, and Nigel Bogart, no stranger to yellow cards, will cop another one.
Brilliant from Ninkovic. How's his first touch? Such quick feet. Controls it with the inside of the right and almost instantaneously flicks it with the outside and draws the foul from Bogart. It just cushions it and then flicks it.
69th booking of his career to go with 10 red cards as Ledley comes on for a beanie. A lot to look forward to from Bernie Abini over the next month or so. Runners in motion. Bratton trying to drop it around that penalty spot. Italiano with the big shout of keeper, elected to punch. Ninkovic again. Wins a corner off Ledley.
Well, certainly that triple substitution has made a difference for Sydney. Newcastle were all over them. And they've wrestled back some sort of momentum. He's been key. Ninkovic.
A few Sydney FC defenders happy to see the back of Bernie Abini tonight. Pratt slipped as he delivered, and as a result, straight out of play.
He slipped a couple of times. Last 5 minutes or so.
Time to share a gag with Carney Robinson, the assistant on that far side, saying that'll make a blooper reel or two, perhaps. Tratos, poor giveaway. Straight to his opposite number. Saris in a tight spot, able to find a teammate. Bratton was nudged by Arroyo.
Yeah, that's what he was looking for. Had the easy option back, but drew the foul.
Rattray. Saris on the move ahead of Van der Sar. Patience on display from Sydney FC. McGowan with confidence.
Yeah. Good composure under pressure from Arroyo. Newcastle, which is understandable, that first 20 minutes of the second half. Maybe just feeling it a bit before they go again.
Scything challenge on Van der Sar prompted the whistle. Fans in the Cove hoping to see that Premier's plate lifted in front of them. But if Newcastle can find a winner, then that trophy lift will have to wait. Chance in the middle. Ball Stanley cleared. It was a very near thing for King trying to find Bahaja.
Oh, he did so well to get there. Didn't think he was going to get there, King, and he somehow managed to whip it across. Bahaja at the near post, and King lets him off the hook with a needless foul.
Sydney FC 52 points would be enough to seal the Premier's plate. Newcastle, they'd still be 5 points adrift with just 9 left to play for, unless they can find a winner here and really tighten things up in that race for a top 6 spot. Thinking about another double change here to finish his lot of 5 subs. What do you make of the respective energy levels right now, Mark Bosnich?
Well, it's completely understandable. Just like Robbie just made the point, how Newcastle was so much on top for that opening 20 minutes. And you have to give a lot of credit for Stephen Corica. He read the script, he saw what was happening, made those 3 changes, injected a bit of life into Sydney. They've steadied the ship, so to speak. But Robbie made that point as well. There might be just Newcastle just basically just taking it easy before they go again. Like I said, at half-time, if you look at the saves one goalkeeper's made compared to the other, where Italiano's hardly even had a save to make. Redmayne's made several, and they've also hit the post. So this is here still for Newcastle to win this.
Neatly done by King and Rattray. Ivanovic eventually putting it out of play. Steve Corica getting young Ivanovic ready. It's going to be Hoffman and Costa Petratos to complete the allotment for the Jets. Defending in a 4-3-3 shape. Ledley forced the check back out for Topo Stanley. Fitzgerald kept on moving. Rattray took it off his boot. swiftly to Bahaja. Gents defence has to be on guard with Trent Bahaja on the move. Topor Stanley was looking anxiously and he just got the leg out in time.
Brilliant defending. He knew it. He just turned and he got the burners on to try and stay with Bahaja. And Ninkovic with that outside of the right foot. That was the delivery he gave to Bahaja against Wellington.
Nikolai Topor Stanley, who made his debut in the A-League as a 21-year-old with Sydney FC, now 35 years of age, and as you say, managed to find the speed required there.
He's had a great game.
Yeah.
Topor Stanley. His passing has been excellent, defending as well. And he's been a threat when these set pieces. Now Sydney rather deep.
Flag staying down for Miller again, trying to knot it down for Arroyo. Well done to King, and there's that penetrating vertical pass for Bahaja, but Topor Stanley just knocked him off the ball again. Oh, went through the legs of McGowan, but Arroyo had slipped.
He went early, Petratus. He nearly got some luck with the slip from McGowan. You're not going to get much joy, a straight ball to Bahaja like that. And he's done well to get a free kick. Tell you what though, it's been another very good game.
Joe Ledley mouthed off. So did Carl Robinson from the technical area. Ledley is booked for dissent because they thought that was a very soft foul adjudicated by Chris Beath. So Hoffman is on as Connor O'Toole departs on the far side of the pitch. And Costa Petratos, it will be a great time to score his first A-League goal. 19th appearance, largely as a substitute for Costa. This guy has scored an A-League goal before. Ivanovic off the bench for Caceres, who did score Sydney FC's first half goal.
It's a lot of changes, both teams now. Interesting to see what that does to the flow of the game.
Petratos winning it back off Bratton. Sharp work early on from the substitute. Jason Hoffman playing as the left wing back now, slotting in for Connor O'Toole. Topor Stanley again advanced to keep them squeezed in, but teammates unable to keep it in for him. Club win 3 Premier's plates, 4 championships, 1 FFA Cup. That makes them level with the Melbourne Victory for major trophies in Australia. Sydney FC poised to edge 1 trophy clear on the all-time count. Ninkovic, Bahaja, he found him again with a quite audacious pass. Now Bahaja and Katrumbas in the right place again. His positioning really has improved under Carl Robinson.
Again, finding Bahaja. Terrific vision.
Oh, now he tried the audacious trick against Katrumbas. I thought Ninkovic had dragged that out of play. That's the point Johnny is making without getting any joy. Johnny Katrumbas and Costa Petratos doing the old Harry Kuehl and Luis Garcia thing with the same hairdo with the Alice bands, Robbie.
They look good. Wish I could try the same.
Yeah, likewise. Topor Stanley not that far away from similar hairdo. Given away sloppily. Here's the chance Sydney FC normally thrive on, but Bogart able to spare his own blushes.
Yeah, that ball wasn't really on Lafondra. Probably should have held that.
Ledley has time. Out the other side, says the coach. So Ledley follows instructions. Stanley says, don't give it to me. You got Ledley there. Fired in. Now Ledley can have another crack. Ivanovic did enough. Goalkeepers come a long way here. You have to get there ahead of Bahaja. Otherwise you're in trouble, as we saw the other night. When Marinovic didn't get there ahead of Bahaja.
Yep, we saw the result. Different area of the pitch there, but you see the panic when the ball goes in behind and Bahaja's around. It's a good ball.
Opens up the pitch. Here comes the goalkeeper again. Kept alive by Lafondra. Almost scissor-like motion around Katrumbas. The Jets take it away anyway. Dimi Petratos, can he provide one moment of magic down the stretch here? Only beaten Sydney FC 8 times since the start of the A-League way back in 2005. Petratos again. He's got his brother making a move ahead of him. Turns away from Costa to use Miller instead. Redmayne happy to see that one come his way. Petratos wanted the ball to slid in behind.
I think it's the right idea from Matty Miller. He just didn't get the tail on it he wanted. Ball went straight instead of bending. They haven't been able to get him into the game in the last, well, pretty much since that triple substitution. He's constantly on the ball before that.
Katrumbas, advantage played after Ninkovic showed the studs to Katrumbas. Ledley to Costa. Petratos shielding it away from Bratton, taking it away from Van der Sar as well. Now Hoffman. Miller was ghosting in at the back post. Dimi for Costa, who couldn't quite keep it in.
Just overhit. That's a shame because they built a good little situation there. Comes to nothing. Went wide, had a little ball in. Thought Arroyo might have been in there, in the inside pocket. They still look not convinced, do they? They'll be much happier with the last 15 minutes. Oh, Robinson, not so much.
Welshman. Experience in the MLS. Coach with Vancouver before heading down under. Didn't let Dimi Petratos start tonight, so he makes his 200th appearance off the bench in the A-League. Dimi Petratos, who made his debut with Sydney FC as a 17-year-old back in 2013. Here he is on the ball now, the milestone man. Straight in towards Wilkinson, not too many Jets in the vicinity. Bratton forced to scramble. Arroyo thought he'd won it back, nudged off the ball by Van der Sar. Hasn't got the right footwear on, it appears, Arroyo. Slipping all over the place. Ninkovic. Van der Sar asking for Bahaja, but again Topo Stanley so quick over 5 metres. Got there first. Petratos puts his head down. And back by Van der Sar.
Yeah, he's done well. Good recovery from Van der Sar. See again, Ninkovic just slows the game down.
Are they to try and find a winner here, Sydney FC, or will they be content with a point? I'm sure they'd love to do it in style by claiming victory tonight. Minutes plus stoppage time to go. Katrumbas.
Block the lanes. Couldn't get Miller in either.
Fondra wanted an early release ball from Bratton, threw his head back in frustration, but Bratton held on. Ninkovic. This time he'll face forward. King, Lafondra, Katrumbas, good use of the body, but in the end, elects to put it straight out of play.
And Sydney where they want to be. Right up in Newcastle's half, no rush to take the throw in. Well, Joel King, you're going to have to take it.
He thought it was a corner. Has the corner been given?
I didn't think it was a corner.
I thought it was a throw in as well. But I think Joel King has convinced the officials that yes, it is a corner. Perhaps it's definitely a set piece for Luke Bratton. We'll check it all out if it amounts to anything later on. Short corner routine for Bratton. Paolo Retre, chance to let fly and a deflection. That's definitely a corner.
Yeah, deflection comes, it just takes too long. He sets it up and then hesitates. He'll still get a corner out of it. Found himself in plenty of space on the edge of the penalty box. The short corner, Ninkovic to Bratton to Ninkovic. Bratton finding Retre.
Lafondra on the move. Ivanovic throwing his body around and a little recklessly into the back of Hoffman. So no controversy after that debatable corner award a moment ago. Sydney FC are taking time off the clock though when they can. Newcastle are desperate. Played it neatly again to work it forward. The link up in midfield. Arroyo laying it off for Ugarkovic. They've got men over on this right-hand side. The overload created. Dimmy knows it. Couldn't play it through the legs of King. Still got numbers on this right-hand side. Costa Petratos offside.
Just needed to go quicker right-hand side, didn't it? And Sydney closed it up and they didn't get the pass out to Miller. Yeah, good decision.
Eagle-eyed Edling. Scott Edling, that is. The assistant on the near side. How much stoppage time will there be after all those substitutions? Redmayne took a tumble after getting the free kick away. Hoffman can use Arroyo.
That's 5 minutes, wasn't it?
I think so. 4 or 5, I think it'll be. Petratos making some runs, but Ledley holds on. Patience on display from the Jets. Topo Stanley, though, pulls the trigger. Bounces away from Costa. On the edge of the area. Costa Petratos! Wow! Newcastle take the lead. 90 minutes done and their season is alive. And Sydney FC will not be lifting the Premier's plate the way things stands tonight.
Well, he looked like he had nowhere to go. He swivels back onto his right foot, and I'm not sure if Redmayne doesn't dive, so I'm not sure if he's unsighted. They don't care, and they've managed to find what looks like will be a winner, so they sort of send him away. That's where they want to send him. Then he checks back, and Redmayne, does he see it late? He doesn't dive, or has he got no chance?
Maybe a deflection off Bratton, the outstretched boot.
Because that's fairly close to his left boot. And they won't care.
Well, I forecast that when he came on, it would be a handy time to score his first A-League goal, and he does. Costa Petratos off the bench to be the hero for Newcastle. And the Wellington Phoenix players say, "You're telling me we're a chance to win this Premier's Plate." Sydney FC will surely claim the silverware at some stage, but they wanted to lift it at Cogra tonight. They need a late equaliser and only 3 minutes of stoppage time to do it in. Quick throw for Bahaja. Looped across the face of goal. Hoffman had to react and did.
Well, the ironic thing is they got the goal at the time when Sydney were probably at their most comfortablest in the game.
Bahaja again. Onside and found by King. Trying to switch things up. A little aimless and go straight out of play. And the Jets fans, only the handful of them are celebrating right now in the stands here at Cogra. Up to 27 points, only 3 points out of the 6, and they'll think they've got some very winnable games to come. Newcastle. Central Coast in a derby, Western United and Wellington in their last 3 games, and they're on a roll under Robinson. Not many expected this result after Sydney FC took the lead through Caceres in that first half.
Well, you have to pay tribute that that's the part of the game that's made the win possible. If they get the win, it certainly looks like they're going to. For 65 minutes, they were outstanding. Triple substitution certainly, I wouldn't say turned it back to Sydney, but certainly stabilised the game. But they somehow dug deep and they found a winner.
Lovely pass from King. Lafondra got it from Ninkovic. Jets defending with that back 5. And then a 3 and then a 2. King, that's out for a throw-in. Past the minimum amount of stoppage time. Sydney FC have to find something right now. Charged down by the head of Miller. Cries for handball. Not heeded, and nor should it have been. Still we go on for King to deliver, and Italiano can claim, and the full-time whistle is imminent. What a result from the Newcastle Jets. They turn things around at Cogra and play party poopers, deny Sydney FC the chance to lift silverware here this evening, and they keep their season alive. Costa Petratos, with his maiden A-League goal, wins it in the 90th minute. Sydney FC were coasting for a while. The desire to score goals was from that man's team, more so than Sydney FC. And in the end, they got their reward. Full time tonight. Newcastle 2, Sydney FC 1. What do you make of it all, Robbie?
Yeah, I think you're right in the way you summed that up. As they came here with a plan, and it probably didn't pan out that last 15 minutes, 20 minutes the way they wanted, but they stuck at it, and in the balance of the game and chances, you can't deny them their victory, and it keeps them alive, and you can see what it means for them. Sydney are disappointed, but as you said, you think they're still going to go on and claim that Premier's Plate.
That's 4 wins out of 5 for Newcastle. They've beaten Perth, Adelaide United, Melbourne City, and now Sydney FC. Not a bad checklist.
Yeah, he's done very well. And they've come back their first game. They've showed a lot. They've got a lot of promise in the games coming ahead as well.
And one of those teams that if they can sneak into the final, suddenly no other team wants to face them. If they can get on a roll and keep it going. Nigel Bogard believes it could be his last season. The Jets have signed James Donachie on a 3-year deal, and the local scribes in Newcastle fear it may be the end for Bogard in Jets colours. But they're playing like this season still means something for them. And why not? They're only 3 points out of the 6. What a winning goal it was from Costa Petratos as well. Looked like he had no shot at all as he was turned away from goal, but Sydney FC allowed him to